Okay, greetings, Patriots, Starseeds, light workers, and of course our very brave military. Welcome to 1776 United, and we're in a worldwide and galactic revolution. And again, I made an attempt to go into Vancouver. It was quite successful. It's my old stomping grounds. A lot of things had changed when I got onto Wellington. It was all high rises there, and nothing. It used to be just houses. 1970 houses when I was there, and 60 houses, and even 50 homes, 1950 built homes. But as I got over to, a lot of things were strange to me there because, like I said, when I got on to Hastings and started heading downtown, a lot of things were okay in Burnaby and stuff like that, and down by the P&E and everything was going. But as soon as I got past the P&E, going down into Vancouver, it was just a disaster. People, fentanyl. I mean, it started at the P&E and it went all the way down to, Howe. It went right down to Howe Street. Anyways, it was covered with homeless addicts. And I've never seen this amount of disparity in all my life. It looked like a complete war zone. And you low-level criminals that run Vancouver should be ashamed of yourselves, and you will be arrested for what you have done. Now, before I move on with this, I had to go down there and try to exchange some so I was trying to do some trading on precious metals, and it didn't work out at all because the owner that does all that stuff wasn't even there. So I took this trip basically for nothing, but I got a nice pizza out of the deal. But I just want to say one other thing. All the high-level politicians have been dealt with. All right, it's this low-hanging fruit. Like the mayors and council, all the low-level politicians that are running districts and regionals and maybe cities and stuff like that. Those are the clowns that are still in operation. And, we should, just be patient and wait their turn to be removed from their seats that they were entrusted with. Okay, I want to get into talking about the debt, IRS, and the things that people are still receiving letters from, because I know that there's a lot of people that are having very, very stressful times because the IRS is after them about non-paid debt or non-paid taxes or whatever, and it's very, very stressful. And I know how you feel. And so, I mean, when they were after me, I wish I knew what I know now then. But unfortunately, I had to cave in because I didn't understand the law back then. But I can tell everybody one thing here for sure: the IRS is dead. Okay, now if you're getting mail, okay, I'm going to say the IRS is dead. The CRA is dead in Canada, and the Federal Reserve Building is gone, and the appointed, I don't know who's giving you the letters or sending you out the letters, but I'm sure it's coming from some pirated ex-IRS people that got fired, and they took their files with them. And they're, putting all this paper because they know how to do it, right? So they put all this paperwork together to see if they can get money out of people, and they're the scumbags of the earth. Okay, now, you can take them to court. You could say, "Fine, I owe you this," and I believe that taxes are illegal, and we will see you in court. That's one way you can do it. You can fight back and just say, "I will see you in court." If you persist on trying to bother me, this is more grounds for harassment, and you can do it that way. There's a lot of people out there that do not have money for a lawyer, and I understand that. And what I did, because I had a family and I didn't know what was going on, I just declared bankruptcy. That's all I did. I just went in there and said, fine. They first, I wasn't going to give them any of the paperwork that they wanted, and then I foolishly give it up to them, because you never declare what you make with these parasites and criminals. You never give any information out to them, okay? That's number one. Because if you give it to them, they're going to use it against you, okay? Now, what I did is I never give them some of my business paperwork. I just said, well, that's all I got, right? Playing dumb. And then, of course, 6 months later, they come in and they say, well, you owe $250,000. I says, you people are out of your mind. You've lost all whatever, collective concept you have left. It's gone. And so what I did was I said, fine, that's fine. I turned to my wife at the time. I says, I'm just going to claim personal bankruptcy because they're coming after me on this and the business or whatever. And I'm just going to declare it all. As bankruptcy. And I went through the bankruptcy, and they were awarded nothing, and they got nothing out of the deal, which was very satisfying for me. Although I did have to collect bankruptcy or declare, and I did that twice, because as I was making money, get to a certain point, and they would come and audit me, and I had to declare the first time, which was way back when 1990 sometime, and then again in 2012. So every 12 years it seemed like but we were only allowed 2 bankruptcies, and then of course from there. But anyways, that's what I had to do. And both times that I declared bankruptcy was because the CRA was after me in Canada, after me making so much of money. And I knew back then that it was all bullshit and illegal, because I had phoned them a couple of times back around the 2012 mark and told them straight up that, because I was starting to catch on what was going on, and I told them, I says, what you're doing is totally illegal, and they basically hung up on me, and that I was never heard. I never heard from them again. So there's a couple ways to play this, right? I mean, you can stand up and just say, if you think I owe you money and you've calculated all this interest and arrear payments and all this other bullshit onto it, let's go to court, and you can stand up in court, and you can go in there and make an affidavit. You go into the courthouse, you can make a affidavit of exactly what the situation is, and say that you believe, with all this penalties and interest and everything tacked onto it, it's totally illegal, and put it down on your affidavit, and state your case very clearly in print it out or write it out in upper and lower case. Do not use full printing. Do not write your address or your name in all capital letters. Do it in full upper and lower case, okay? That's extremely important. And in your affidavit, do not put any periods in there, because that will allow the so-called black cloak parasitic judge to allow him to stop reading your content. So do not put any periods. If you have to, just put a comma and then move on. Make it a nice, smooth, long affidavit, and let it flow through there, and state your case. And if you say it's illegal, and anything that the IRS is doing is illegal, then they already got the message in your affidavit, and they might not want to pursue it at that point. Now, I haven't tried that one, but I never had no need to. I just stopped paying taxes and declaring to the government in 2012, and I stopped declaring any of my sidekick money, right? But I did declare the money that they had sent me through small pensions or the GST or anything like that. That part I declared, and I just sent it off to my very simple accountant and said, listen, this is all I made, the GST and whatever. And, of course, all they have to do is go onto your computer and and see how much I received from the government that year, and that's it, basically. And it always works out to $125,000. Okay. It's a little bit different in the United States. I get it, and I understand that. But the fundamental right for you not to be charged taxes is the same worldwide. Any tax department is an illegal entity. It is a corporation. It's got nothing to do with you. You are a sovereign, and you should not be taxed. You should not be harassed, okay? And you shouldn't have to go through any stress. And you can claim grounds or ask for money from them for harassment and very stressful environment that they've put you in, okay? And you can declare all that in the affidavit, okay? You can make it and that's what I would do. I would fight back. I would stand up and fight back on it and say, I don't owe this money. And make it a fight inside court. Because I'll tell you, the courts are filling up so much right now. It might take a year or two for you even to get in there, okay? If at all. And by then, NCRA and GSERA will be implemented. Now, I'm going to do another video about NCRA, GSERA, because I'm going to tell you, everything's about to change. Any judge that's out there right now is going to come off his bench. Any lawyer, same thing. Any cop, they're all going to have to go through a revival, okay? Basically, they're going to have to step down from their position, and if they have done incriminating activity in their position of power, they will be charged, and they will be dealt with accordingly by the military, JAG, or or Space Force. Space Force has got the goods on everybody on the planet. They've got every document, every text on your phone, every video that has ever done, any type of email, everything has been documented down to the T. Okay? That's what Space Force is there for. Now, I would not want to be in any power position at this point, even if I did good, because, there's, in the end, when this is all said and done, the world that we leave, which is all the IRS and all the other bullshit behind us, the banks, and everything is going to be left behind, okay? We will be a sovereign, we will be a republic, and we will have to learn to run our own money and our own timelines, and get used to being nobody around you, and for you to make your own decisions. There won't be any letters coming from any government. There won't be any type of billing coming from anybody. It's going to be up to you to operate your own world, because there's a lot of people that have been stuck in the slave mentality, and they're actually prefer to live with their captors. They want to be run by them, and that is the mental psychoses that people have fallen into right now. And it's going to take a long time for a lot of people to adjust to being a free and loving human being. There will be people crying for happiness, and there'll be crying for fear. So prepare yourself, everybody, for what is about to come. When? I don't know. The war is still going on, because this is just the decisions being made. But I can tell you and assure you that everything is totally under control, and I will get into the fundamentals of all that in another video, okay? But please, you can stand up, and if you don't want to stand up, you just declare bankruptcy, go through the bankruptcy. Unfortunately, I wouldn't want to do that because, like I says, that's it shuts down everything. It shuts down. It limitates you to do the things that you want to do. Okay, but you can look into it. Okay. Anyways, I hope that helped everybody. We'll see you on the next video. Bye now.